The little YouTube that could. You're upset? Oh no. Didn't it be close to sunset where you are? Alright, so we casted actually a set for this tournament the other day. Tofu and Benanji versus Prisma and Lucho. And it was actually an insanely good set. So I was like, well, why not cast this? There's nothing else going on today. Well, except T90's thing, but that's not really... That's different. That is different. So I think they do a map draft. Oh, that's right. You guys have a heat wave. It's actually quite pleasant for where I'm at. Or 5, actually. You aren't just one. I've been over the Mackinac Bridge. They're definitely 2. That wasn't. Hydrologically, it's 4, but geographically and culturally, it's 5. Lake Michigan has a very different feel than Lake Huron. Right. That. And this is Darkside versus... it's Darkside and Nocturna. We got the 2 teams of the night. You're just a hydrology enjoyer. You know, everybody knows the Edmund Fitzgerald in the Great Lakes region. It's like a very famous thing. It's like asking if people in Halifax remember the explosion. Or Bhopal, come to think of it. Jordan Vastenon? Yep. Yep. What's this called? Cronicas de Guerra. Scoot. This is a best of 7. All right. And I think it's hidden pick, no repeat. Doesn't say. Hmm. Oh, Nomad got sniped. But they picked Nile Delta. There we go. You know what? It's been saved, guys. Indeed, Nile Delta in the year of our Lord Doubt 2026. NOC did pick the fun maps, to be fair.
Two more and we achieved 2 times the meaning of life with just one stream kappa.
I mean, we truly are, you know, creating answers to philosophical questions that have never existed. And banning land madness. We don't need that hamstery nonsense. All right, come on, let's go. Let's go, 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 go. Guys, if they don't start this lobby, I'm going to start looking for jobs because I haven't done that in a few days. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. As a lobby coach, indeed. Since when is frickin' an attorney an entry-level position? Just chatting? Something like that. Didn't I apply to this job already? This is how we get into the council floor relations, guys. We just spam them with applications. These 3 have been under review for a while. That permit? Whatever, man. Who cares? This is what I was thinking of doing initially, and I'm interested. It's surprising that they actually are hiring. We got a bachelor's degree. Yes, 12. Specialized experience. Yeah, I don't have that. Fluent Korean? I don't speak fluent Korean. How long have I been looking? Since January of 2025. So, over a year and a half now. Done around 160 applications. Now, there is an exam you need to take. External assessment. That's right. I forget the name of it. But yeah, this is like literally what when I started going to college, this is what I was looking for. But then like everything went up. You're in a golden era? All right. I can do OSINT. It's always the active security clearance. No, it's such a horrible time to try and get a job. Always the active security clearance. And that's a lot of... Okay, this job, when did they post this? Can I see this? Because, like, this is the one job I got an interview for. Does that mean that they haven't actually accepted it? Can you see on Indeed when they posted it? Oh, here we are. Overseas bilingual housing specialist in Krakow. There you go, Nerfox. I assume they want somebody who speaks Polish. Yep. Do you think I have good knowledge of the Krakow rental market? I think I could do really well there. That's fair, that's fair. All right. Get into this in 45 seconds. Hunting on stream? You bet I'm desperate. All right, guys, 10 seconds and we'll be getting here into game number 1. We don't really have that in America either. All right. Dark side. Nocturna. Best of 7. This is Cronicas de Guerra. Or de Guerra. Semi-final. And we are officially ready to go. All right, here we are. It's going to be Migration to start things out. We had an insane game of Migration, actually just the other day in this tournament, in the other semifinal. Let's hope we're going to see something crazy again. We'll have Turs here for Team Nocturna in the green to the south as the Hungugin, and to the east in the blue as the Vikings. It will be running. So, double unique warship. And their opponents in the other semifinal will be Stonefleas in the yellow as the Persians to the north, and Siscon in the red as the Dravidians to the west. So, what do we think of the players? I mean, this feels pretty even. One of the reasons I wanted to cast this in the first place. I don't know how much Stonefleas and Siscon play together. I know Running and Turs play together all the time. That said, Stonefleas and Siscon are of such quality that you'd expect them to do quite well regardless. Let's see how this one is going to pan out. As far as civs go, Vikings, Koreans versus Dravidians and Persians, that feels very good. You just have a lot of good civs. 3 AOC civs, in fact, plus Dravidians, who are, close enough to an AOC civ in terms of design, so. Gotta love that. Dark Legion, I don't know, the ones who are organizing this tournament. They're Spanish-speaking. Yeah, I mean, if we just look at it in terms of late-game naval quality, Persians are obviously going to lag behind all of the other civilizations. That said, Persians' eco is still very good, and they're going to be at least pretty solid for contesting the middle of the map. That said, Persians are still probably one of the weaker civs of these 4, again, just because they don't have that long-term advantage. Their eco is still super good, though. And in the last game we saw on this map, we also had to, look at that, 17 eco units already. I mean, that is why you play Persians right there. Not the most aggressive of openings. We saw players click up at like 26 to 28 population. The Nepalese are taking their jobs? Well, I mean, on the one hand, the Bosnians give you Chivapi, and on the other hand, the Nepalese give you, oh, wait, no, that's the Tibetans that give you momos. I don't know Nepalese cuisine. I passed a Nepalese restaurant in Chicago, but I didn't stop there, although I thought about it. I love momos, though. But I also love Chivapi. And the bread, whatever it's called. And rakia, of course. So, you can see Slightville lead here for the dark side. And it's really just going to be a question of how aggressive do these guys want to play. Is it going to be all galley? Or are we going to be seeing a bit of a variety of ships? Oh, hi, Tofu. The NOC civs are much better. Yeah, I talked about it. I think that personally, I would prefer civs that have the flexibility to play both aggressive galley rush style and late game water. And I also like how both Koreans and Vikings can go for very cheap and efficient armies on the land. You know, lots of skirmishers, arbalests, pikemen, etc. Persian Eco is still going to be extremely powerful, though, and Stone Please is off to a very good start. You can see he's well ahead in resources, so great build here from Stone Please. We have both Dark Side players on the way up to the Feudal Age. And Dravidians, I think, are just as good as Koreans and Vikings. I mean, like, great team bonus as well to give to your ally. Oh, actually, now that I think about it, you could probably get a reason that Stone Please had a slick build is probably because he could get the docks super early and use that as the house as well with the Dravidian team bonus, which is pretty nice. Wikipedia page? Yeah, there's a Wikipedia page. Boop. But yeah, like, personally, I prefer playing a Civ like Koreans and Vikings, but it's not just me. Anyway, right now, running just now, clicking up to the Feudal Age, and you can see green following shortly behind. Both landing. I'm not sure, mostly because I don't usually see 2v2 migration, but migration is one of those maps that plays out very differently, 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, and 4v4. AT West. But at least this version has a fairly long rush distance on both sides. So you're not going to get the full 3v3, 4v4 pocket-style fish booms where you go up with, like, 20 fishing ships. But you also obviously don't have the level of aggression that you see in the larger team games on flank. Like, you're further away than that, so you can see 10 to 11-ish fishing ships here for each side. So there is at least some degree of consistency there. That said, Darkside have an overall more aggressive approach. And Stone Please, with those Persian docks, you can see forward docks from him, and he is going to be going aggressive here immediately. You can see double fire galley opening from him. Not usually a bad idea whenever you open... when you're confident you're up to Feudal Age faster, the fire ships are usually the best thing you can go for. Note that both blue and green went with back docks, so clearly Nocturna did have in mind to have a bit of a more defensive opening, and they will be attempting a fast castle. You can see running, actually, yeah, there's the tower. We've been seeing a tower a little bit more frequently. The issue is that you can sail around the tower and you can sort of surround the docks, which does feel like a little concerning. But we'll have to see if this fast castle from both sides can be successful. Different approaches, though, from both teams, which is interesting. Rage Forest? Since when have I claimed this to be Rage Forest? Oh, I still have the logo up. Oh, whatever. Ruining AoE once again. What else is new? Alright, we got some docks over here. Obviously, both blue and green are on the way up to Castle Age. Darkside still have a solid economy, though, so chances are they're going to be getting very good uptimes, and indeed, that is the case. Neither player here is especially far from the Castle Age. Market Blacksmith on the way from Stone Please. We do need to see those buildings come in from Siscon. But the advantage of those Castle Age warships, I mean, I assume it has to be for longboats and turtle ships. You have, like, some stray warships here and there, but I think it's probably still going to be a focus on turtles and longboats. But they're going to need to get damage done and get damage done quickly. That's it. Nobody's actually lost anything yet. I mean, that's the water meta these days for you. It's just so much easier to defend. Looks like Stone Please sold 100 stone. Not living up to his name right there. Got fishing lines in now for green, and so far, Nocturna are defending. Stone Please looping around again. And here is Castle Age. Longboats immediately queued up. But longboats, I think they... Man, I'm trying to remember. I think they don't train really any faster than war galleys, or if they do, they train only very slightly faster. So it's not as much of an advantage as it used to be. That said, longboats are still great. They still move very quickly. Okay. Got Bowsaw coming in, Bodkin's in, that's not an issue. We do have the medium warships upgrade coming in for Turs, so he is not interested in going for turtles, at least just yet. Upgrades aren't in yet, though. And he did lose a dock. Wait, do I have in-game audio still on? Why does it feel like the audio is being doubled? I don't know. I'm just going crazy. Anyway, longboats are out, and they're going to start to push this back. But Darkside hitting Castle Age with a nice worker lead. 16 fishing ships right now for our yellow player, Stone Please. He's getting medium warships, falling back with his navy, but the longboats are so good in pursuit. And the first mighty Kobukson is out. Bow! Still think they should play the AOC Koreans jingle whenever they make a turtle ship. Naval number still looking better for Stone Please. He's also rushing up clinker construction before even Bodkin, interestingly. Ballistics coming in for blue. This is just some classic Vikings FC longboat stuff. And right now, it doesn't really feel like Team Nocturna have done enough to fight back the feudal age navies before we saw Darkside get to Castle Age. Good trades thus far-ish here for running. Clinkers are continuing to get constructed, though, and that's going to help out the turtle ships a lot. Remember, turtles, their technical counter with the main water triangle is the fire ship. And that is exactly what Siscon is going for here. Although it's still not that amazing. So one of the things that Darkside can do, really, as their navies are not going to scale as well over time, is I think very soon to go to the mainland. And we already have the transport ship out for red. I think it's actually just sailing in the wrong direction due to an errant gather point. But in general, they have a bit of a better opportunity to try and land. That said, Turs is already here with some villagers of his own. Red continuing to pile on the pressure here. Got his own fire ships. So you basically take the regular framework of fire ship plus galley and then replace the galleys with turtle ships. Seems to be the logic here. Careening coming in as well from Turs. That's going to give you that extra pierce armor, which is helpful versus the galleys. It does not do anything versus fires and hulks, though. This is obviously very heavy investment. And this game is going to march on, with Darkside still around 25 population ahead. Running's fighting back with his ships, though. Hulk and turtles be better. That is it. That's what I was thinking. The concern might be that the hulks die to the enemy galleys too quickly, which is fair, whereas the fire ships at least stay alive longer. But turtle ships are already very tanky, so I feel like that might not be an issue. Two vills are going to go down right there. But yes, I did think about that. Much faster movement speed as clinker construction is not in for red. Whoa, very forward TC fear from Turs. Red's already over here with one, but Siscon is being pushed back as right now Nocturna have taken that score lead. Greening is in. That helps a lot versus the longboats. Remember, longboats were changed so that all of their arrows do the same damage, but they have a much lower base attack. So that pierce armor is being applied many times over to the longboats. Fires. Pursue fleeing galleys? Yeah, maybe. Something I definitely want to test out, though, but I really haven't. Another TC coming in here from Siscon. 65 eco units for Stone Please, so he is certainly doing a good job of leveraging Persians as far as that goes. But he is probably going to need to get a TC on the mainland sooner rather than later. Like I said, the navies of Nocturna should scale much better over the course of the game. So right now, it's still very competitive on the water. Eco is quite good for Darkside. So get on the mainland, man. Handcard even coming in very quickly. You really don't need it, honestly, as Siscon. Not unless you're farming a bunch. Anyway, TC. Oh, no! Okay, that will finish it, but oh, that's awkward. Now the Siege Workshop will follow up, and some cheap Dravidian Mangonels will certainly apply a lot of pressure. But Turs is starting to push back here on the water. The naval upgrades are negligible here for Siscon. He just has Bodkin, no university upgrades at all. Green flank to test that. There's a good trial by fire. I don't think you want me playing flank, though, as on a water map like that. Just go super hamstring build and watch me fail miserably. Well, Fire's one of their many advantages is that they do torch docks super fast, so it's a great way of snowballing a water advantage. Mangonel number 2 is on its way. A Relic is also going to be coming in. More Turtles, and we do have Stone Please here in the middle. So, like I said, both of the Dark Side players took the opportunity when they had the good water control to go ahead and go to the mainland quickly. That said, Stone Please is still doing pretty darn well here, and the fact that Longboat side don't really train as fast as they used to, and they're quite negatively impacted by careening, does feel like this Longboat play is worse than it used to be, for sure. Fireship's trying to pursue there. And right now, Turs is pushing. A bit about player's favorite. Yes, I think that would make lots of sense, Fodler. Oh, look at that. War Galley's now coming in. As you can see, Running's going to try and switch over into some fire ships. Gotta love those Viking fire ships. Blech. All right, Castle coming in over here. Huge eco lead right now for Darkside. If this game is going to happen here, it's likely going to need to be one in the middle. And a castle's at least a good first step, but already a castle for Red. Remember, Red really just hasn't invested anywhere near as much into the Navy as all other 3 players in this game. Spaghetti Mysterio. Oh, and he just cancels it at 85%. Oh, no. Oh, the Lord does indeed smile upon you. Running trying to fight back here on the water, but that was so bad for Turs. Even as Turs is continuing to get further and further on this side, I mean, just that massive loss here in the middle is such a huge issue. Blue trying to push back over here. 175 to 139 bills with a lot of idols even here for Team Nocturna as Darkside 50 pop ahead in game number 1. Mandingo Lingo, thank you for the raid. Welcome, welcome. We are currently casting the semifinals here for the Cronicas de Guerra tournament. Pretty interesting game number 1 that Darkside is looking very strong on. Almost 100 villagers here for yellow. He's still fighting on the water. It's like, yes, Turs is continuing to make this happen, but because Red is already so firmly entrenched in the middle of the map, which, like I said, was critical for that to happen before the huge naval advantage for Nocturna. Now the castle's going to be coming in here from Turs. He needs to make something huge happen. This is at least something he can do. And with the turtle ships over here, it's going to be difficult to evacuate those villagers. The macro from Stone Please has been really insane, though. All right. Castle's here. You do need to react to it. It's not like something that's optional. I'm not going to sit here and say you don't need to react to the castle that's on the villagers. Hello, Niaz. Yeah, better here for Turs, although, of course, he has the most expensive ships. Slightly negative for Stone Please and Siscon, but the economies are so much better here for Team Darkside. "17 kills on this castle. Obviously not the best reaction we've ever seen from Siscon. But still, no presence in the mainland. And with Red getting closer and closer to the Imperial Age, now, Thirasadi are not good versus turtle ships. They really, really aren't. That said, against Castle Age turtle ships, it might still be fine. The Crocs here too, oh boy. We got all the players I've been casting recently. Welcome, welcome everybody. I mean, it does feel like right now Nocturna do have a slight score lead. They are really fighting back on the water. Their civs, their navy scale a lot better, as I keep on saying. But right now, it just feels like Darkside are creeping all over the middle of this map, and they are not likely going to get evicted anytime soon. Towers coming in over here. Dravidians do have very solid naval defenses. In fact, they only miss architecture. And like, yeah, sure, this is annoying, but it doesn't really feel like it's the end of the world for Siscon. I mean, actually, Siscon lost a lot. Okay, 34 villagers is a lot. Terrace has got to click up. Oh, yeah, his eco balance definitely leaves a lot to be desired right there, especially on 1TC. 33 fishing ships is insane. It's one of those things where you're not spending any food because you're only building navy, so the fishing ship numbers really do have diminishing returns. Like, what does all that extra food realistically give you when you don't really need to spend it on anything other than technologies? Now, Imperial Age is on the way, but obviously that is much less efficient than you would like to see. Whoa, 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 hold on. Hold up there. Sail away. Transport ships are made of paper mache now, guys. Remember, they used to have 100 HP and 4-8 armor. They lost 4 melee armor, they lost 6 pierce armor, and 30% of their HP with the naval rework. It's honestly so crazy to me that they just completely nuked transport ships. Anyway, castle drop coming in over here as well. Now, most of the economy is going to be located on the mainland here for Stone Please, but he's probably going to want to ferry a bunch more villagers over. Okay, no, he's going with his own defensive castle. Oh, the double bears in chat. Turtle ships doing turtle shippy things, longboats continuing to climb in numbers, and we do have everybody now on the way up to the Imperial Age as the trade cogs are already starting to go to town. And we saw in the series the other day just how insane those trade cogs can be now that you can gather or generate wood with them. No doubt castle today. Petards immediately queue up, and the mighty war elephant. I'm delivering. Yep. I grant overnight delivery, as I am technically a contractor for Amazon. Oh, go get a more elephant. Remember, they have a lot of bonus damage versus buildings now. Look at this, 30 versus buildings, 30 versus stone defense. It's actually kind of underrated. Now, is it better than a petard in this case? I don't know about that. But for those of us who like going for war elephants in every single game that you play Persians, it's something you notice. Directly through your gates. I'm pretty good at that. We'll have to see how I deal with Bucket and Folder when we play in the League community event. Oh, I mean, this would be an insane castle to get up here for Stone Please. Right on the coast on this spit, I guess would be the geographic term. Are they better than petards? I mean, I go for them because they're cool, and like I said, they have very good bonus damage now, and I mean, this is not insignificant. They've dealt 1,600 damage. This is definitely less than petards would have dealt, but the war elephants stay alive, and that makes it a lot more difficult. 170 food? Yeah, but like, you know, they're elephants. You need to feed your elephants. They're hungry animals. Fast fire ships are here. The trade cogs are in peril. The castle is in. And this is going to be such a nightmare to deal with, especially if Citadels comes in. Those trade cogs are going to the bottom of the ocean. Meanwhile, on this side, we do have the galleons coming out. Like I said, I'm pretty sure Thirasadi would not be very good at all here. But I'm usually pretty down on Thirasadi. I never really feel like they're as good as you would need them to be. Longboat's continuing to try and get some good value, but still no elite upgrade as we just look at this, guys. Blue is completely off the mainland. The trade cogs would at least be a short-term solution to that. But this castle completely denies it. Kipwright coming in. That looks pretty goofy, but it doesn't really matter anyway. And Running gonna tap out there for Team Nocturna. The scores are still technically very close, but they see the writing on the wall. Siscon and Stoneplease are really not something that you can get rid of here on the mainland. They just have no presence here. That Doubt Castle was a huge issue, and even if you're doing fairly well on the water, it is simply not going to be enough. And Darkside take game number 1. I mean, it really felt like they were in the driver's seat for most of the game. You can see the eco advantage is quite significant, even if their KDs don't really reflect that. They're the ones who are ultimately working towards that win condition on this map. You can see that despite the Castle Age timing advantage with the double FC here from Nocturna, Stoneplease and Siscon weren't too much slower, and considering they had such a naval advantage in the first place, and you really had to have Running and Turs just slowly battle their way across the map, by the time that they got over here, Siscon and Stoneplease were already in Castle Age, and they could at least use the, shall we say, even fight here on the water to use that economic advantage to go over to the mainland and just get that more important map control going down a lot sooner. So well done there, but that was a solid game number 1 in what will hopefully be a very competitive series. Hello, everybody. All right, that is the neutral map migration. Now, the players in this who played in this tournament can help me out here, but I think it's just hidden pick no repeat for the civs. I didn't really see it anywhere on Wikipedia, and I've only just casted the last 2 rounds. Ah, yes, I see Niaz and Temo. I don't know. I see Thofu in the finals, and I see Niaz not in the finals, so... Is the good doctor part of this team? Yeah, congrats, Crocs. You played yourself. I do not see Dragonstar signed up. Anyway, somebody help me out. Is it just hidden pick no repeat for the Civ? Looks like Hideout will be the next map. I am a big fan of Hideout. 2v2 Hideout's going to be kind of interesting. More than a lot of maps, it's likely going to play out as 2 1v1s, at least in the short run. So I can check it out too. Yeah, but you forget that I'm lazy. I am... Okay, I want to see how close the spawns are. Because if you look at Hideout in a similar vein to Migration, like on 1v1, you're on opposite sides of the forest, so the rush distance is generally fairly long. It can spawn close, but usually it's a pretty decent distance away. In a 4v4 or a 3v3, the flanks are pretty close to each other, which is really going to invite a lot of aggression. So if we get something that's kind of in the middle, the civs that we see are probably going to be more in the FC family of openings as opposed to the Tower Rush family of openings. Why did Nocturna the I hated the most? That sentence makes no sense. Hidden pick no repeat? I So yeah, we'll have to see again. Are we going to be seeing the more tower rush-oriented civs? Are we going to be seeing the more fast castle-oriented civs? We'll have to see. We will see. But haven't seen a ton of 2v2s on Hideout, at least not in a long time. They're learning good. They're not learning how to start a game very well, though. And that feels like it's kind of important. Why Nocturna didn't ban Arabia? Atacama, Habub, and Karsts are all more aggressive than Arabia. So I think that as somebody who doesn't like playing open maps myself, I would rather play Arabia than any of these maps. Or no, is Karst a different... No, Karst is the Red Bull map. Okay, I have no idea what Karst singular is. Builder, that's fair. On Land Menace? Yeah. All right. Oh, interesting. Interesting. One minute, guys, and we will be getting into game numero dos. And this is the only set we have today. I don't know when the finals will take place. Probably, you know, whoever wins this will need to schedule that. We'll, of course, try and cast that. Oh, yeah, the Top Experts League. The tournament that starts at 3 in the morning for me. All right, looks like we have a Rage Forest set tomorrow. Team Doubt versus Team Mihai. They've both lost their sets. Yeah, that's what I thought. So that's going to be an elimination match for sure. And that's going to be at 11 my time, so 16 GMT. So we'll certainly be here for that. But now that we're going to be getting towards the end of the group stage, we will certainly have very high impact matches. Oh yeah, also, I think Sensar is going to do the Rage Force tier list video with me. Definitely seemed interested in the idea, so we'll try and get that one out. All right, guys, here we are, game number 2, and it does seem like the rush distances are at least relatively close here. This is kind of like the guaranteed close spawns version of Hideout that you'd get in a 1v1. Go! Are they really flipping colors on me? Jerks. Stone Please this time is going to be in the green as the Malay on the northeast flank of Hideout. Going to be just a really good flexible civ. If you think you're going to be up against a tower rush, you can go up to Feudal Age very quickly. If you think it's going to be fast castle, you can do that as well. You can go aggro, you can go defensive. Just, I think, a really smart pick. Not the most, like, aggressive pick. It's going to be more reactionary. And then, oh, whoops, sorry. Oh, no, I got this backwards. The rush distances are still pretty close. Back wall. Well, I mean, you can build a house here and then delete it. His ally, though, is going to be Siscon in the blue as the Slavs to the southeast. Now, I love playing Slavs. I don't know if I love them for this map in these positions. They're not the worst tower rush civ. Remember, you do get free arson, which is pretty nifty. But they still are a bit of a slower civ. you do have a monk bonus as well, but it feels like it's like an okay civ and not necessarily one that you would go for in a hidden pick, no repeat situation. So I'll be very curious to see how Siskan chooses to approach this one. Anyway, they lost the last game. They're going to try and make something happen here. We'll have Turs in the red as the humans to the south flank of Hideout. And in the yellow to the northeast as the Spanish northwest. I know my directions. We'll have running. So, what do we think of the civs here for Nocturna? I don't love humans here. With a close rush distance guaranteed, it feels like you're opening yourself up to a ton of pressure. Humans are one of the best civs on this map in a 3v3 or 4v4, when you have a bit more safety to boom on up. I feel like Turris is going to have to respond to some huge pressure, though, coming in from Siskan. Although, to be fair, it's not like Slavs are the best civ at applying that pressure. Early barracks coming in. We'll have to see how the likely free arson men-at-arm rush is going to be going. But yeah, I worry that humans are a bit too greedy. Spanish, meanwhile, obviously you want to go fast castle conquistadors. Could go for a tower rush. Malay, though, are going to be one of the better civs at adapting to that, though. How's my dad doing? He is actually right now going out and getting some blood work done. The big issue is that when they did surgery on his foot, it basically, some tendon popped, and now his foot is like permanently stuck at a 90-degree angle, which makes it really difficult for him to walk, and it's like swollen all the time. And it feels like, unless they can find a way to correct that, he's never really going to walk properly again. So, no idea how they plan on doing that. Anyway, 19 pop-up here for Mr. Turs. Siskan's got the barracks. Will be indeed for men-at-arms and probably towers. Wait. 5 vills? Okay, this has... Yeah, okay, this is just for the exact amount of gold needed, I think, to get the extra militia and the men-at-arms upgrade. Still a very fast uptime for a men-at-arm rush. Or men-at-arm plus tower rush, I guess. Back in my day, we went 22 pop men-at-arm plus tower. Back when we were on Voobly and had 150 ping every game. Alright, 3 vills going over to stone. And let's see what the plan is over here. We already have a vill on stone, so this is going to be for a likely a very quick castle drop. You can't just go like 28 pop on this map. 150 ping lobby, well, especially because I played evening North America time. I would get a ton of Chinese and Vietnamese players who are, you know, across the Pacific Ocean and also half of North America from me. Well enough to be about? Yeah, that's true. It's just, it's tough. Alright, PC coming in over here. Now, luckily for Turs, the stone is at the back. The gold is forward, though. There will be an archery range. Double men-at-arm rush, obviously. I honestly don't love this from Stone, please. It feels like when you're playing Malay versus Spanish, you can just react to them going for an FC Conquistador stuff. You can, like, drop your own castle, go for a few monks, and then get to Imperial Age significantly faster. Like, the Spanish player is already going to be on stone. A Wizard Quick Waller. At no point in time was Doubt ever considered a good Quick Waller. I'm afraid I'll have to push back on that one. Imp into what? Get his own base, you just trap down the castle. Good satisfaction galore. I don't know. Castle is on yellow's base? Well, in the Malay castle in the Malay base? Oh, okay. Well, then that if I was thinking of it in the context of going for an aggressive castle drop. That's what I was thinking with the fast uptime. If it's a defensive castle, then you can just go monk defense and then go in behind it, right? Or if you want to boom, I guess you can try and go skirmishers as well. Send some of the men-at-arms to the human base. Well, this is again where it doesn't really feel like this is doing all that much. Red was able to mine some long-distance stone that was necessary for the extra tower. Yes, I do think this series could be very even. Another defensive tower's coming in. Running is on his way up to the castle age. Those quick balls obviously need to happen. Only 3 vills in the town center. Is it enough in terms of arrow fire? Probably. But this is something that Running would much rather not let have happen. Uh-oh. Well, 1 vill goes down there. Still have several units here, but it's only just villagers at this point, and the villagers are going to have a hard time killing the other villagers, or at least blocking them. That villager is going to survive, and that might have not been the most advisable thing there for Stone, please. Okay, never mind. He does snipe the scout cavalry. Regardless, Yellow not especially close to the stone needed for a castle age. He's got 0 villagers on food. And now he is chasing 2 villagers with 8 villagers. And you've also completely lost your forward presence here. Okay, I guess you're going to have some archers behind this and start to stonewall up. But if you're stuck in feudal age, 1 petard will bust through a stone wall. And that's only if you get all of these walls down. Meanwhile, lots of houses. Lots and lots of houses. 39 vills here for red, 30 for blue, so you do have a bit of a vill lead, but probably not as much of one as you would like, especially because the eco at home is perfectly efficient for Siscon, and those Slav farms are going to come down. Oh, Turs is doing great. I'm still a little concerned because, again, the eco is so untouched here for Siscon, and Andy's got those Slav farms, but it certainly could be so much worse. And he's got the stone. Running can now drop the castle. Probably do so right around here. Indeed. 3 archers are probably going to make this a bit annoying, although I don't think it'll be anything too impactful. Spanish builders being Spanish builders and all that. Stone wall's coming up over here to the south. Like I said, this is a big investment, and 1 petard will bust through here. Now keep in mind, Running's food eco is dreadful, so it's going to be tough for him to afford really anything. Oh, I don't know about this. I know about this, and I know it's a bad idea. Yeah, why isn't the Slav player fish booming? That's what they do best. On the pole tower rush, they're one of the best tower rush civs. Tower rushing in general is very situational, though. Tower there will go down. Another one is being built. Still looking at a 14 vill lead for red, but if we take a look at the res collected, Turs is only ahead by a few hundred, which really isn't that exciting. And again, it's just such a comfortable eco at home. Oh, this is a Leary wall right there. Siscon just deleting the walls. 100% a Leary wall. Walling off a forest that already goes to the edge of the map. It doesn't matter. Onk number 1 is out. You will still need that 1 petard. Guess you could just use the conch to try and punch through. That's a very low HP wall. But right now, if you're green, your job is to buy time. You need to find a way to get to Castle Age. You will, as Malay, get up very quickly, and you're almost at the necessary resources. If you look at res collected, green is so far ahead of yellow. 30 villagers to 42. Okay, there's the one petard. And things are still scary. Both players now on the way up to Castle Age here for Darkside. Nah, like I said, I think it's way too much of an investment for something that's countered by one petard. Now, we do have the contingency layer of walls coming in. But, like I said, this is a lot of investment for this to happen. Honks are going to have +1 defense, which obviously helps versus those archers. And as great as the economy is for our green player, it's going to start to look scary. +1 defense is now in. Who doesn't love conquistadors? With the power of micro! Oh, honestly, really no conquistador should die here. I mean, I say that like somebody who wouldn't lose 5 conquistadors to 5 feudal age archers, but still. Second range coming in, but you have no archers to upgrade anymore. It's actually going to be 3 ranges. I mean, conquistadors are so efficient that, I mean, this is still going to be really tough to stop. Meanwhile, more archers are actually coming in from blue. Why is red? Because he's humans. He's on 68 vills. I mean, the villager numbers are fantastic, but keep in mind, a lot of them are going to be on wood. Look at that wood income right there, and it usually doesn't matter all that much. Still, credit to Turs. He is surviving. He's going to make it to Castle Age with a big vill count. He's well ahead in terms of overall resources at the very least. And things could certainly be going worse for him. I actually wonder if maybe you don't go around to the base of Siscon. Archers are going to have a tough time reinforcing to his ally, and I don't really think Siscon could do a whole lot to a bunch of cogs running around. And that might be exactly what he's doing. University coming in. And there's the second TC for running. So, running still going to look to try and get his economy rolling. At the very least, green should be sending a lot more resources on military than yellow is. Still not even bothering to get any more conquistador upgrades. That castle, well, it's going to be tough to make happen. 17 seconds to Castle Age, Siege Workshop being built. What does the Cuban player go for in Castle Age? Kipchaks. Look at this, though. He's going to go fast imp behind it. It's like the build with humans. It's one of the 2 builds you can do with humans. Either you go for 2 TCs into Rams and Step Lancers or Knights, all in, or you go 2 TC fast imp with Kipchaks. Those are the things you're allowed to do. And John Slow, thanks to the raid. And indeed, this is like what I was saying. Conquistadors running on in, gonna snag a villager, and this is not what Siscon's looking for. And the Slav unique unit is the Boyar. Another TC there at the back, another TC here at the back, so gonna try and extend the economies. And we're in a situation where yellow's in the worst eco, and then it's blue, then green, then red. So Team Nocturna have the best and worst economies in the game, with the dark side players in the middle. Both blue and green are going for crossbowmen at the moment, and you do need to be exceptionally careful because the crossbowmen have finally arrived at the party, and they are going to, being the conquistadors, need to go and snipe a palisade wall to try and escape. Yeah, this is exactly what you need to do. How do you stop the Cumans? With extreme difficulty. Okay, well, I mean, that's not bad. Manganella's out here, though, and it is just going to be very tough to stop those Kipchaks. Maybe you need to just go full defense and fortified wall, but my concern is that nobody's in, like, a super strong, boomy space to go Imperial Age. But, yeah, I mean, humans are a really silly civ. And I can't help but wonder if maybe going for FC Siege Monks would have been a bit better at trying to stop this. Third TC coming in for each of these players, but you're not likely going to have a ton of time. Alright. Bill's having to flee back to the castle. Indeed, the Kippers. Conks are mostly cleaned up over here. Nocturno's eco still looking very solid. Yellow's still only on the 2 TCs, but like I said, it feels like it's just not quite good enough here for Stone Please and Syscon. No, like I said, I feel like it should almost always be Fast Castle. Unless they have both the gold and stone forward. But yeah. Fast Castle, cheap Slav Siege, speedy monks. It's far from the worst thing ever. Actually, deleting a tile of stone wall there. I guess the Vils can go in behind that, but obviously you will end up losing this castle. And they reach Castle Age? Yeah, but you reach Castle Age a lot faster than them. And it's not like humans are unbeatable. And chances are, even if they're ahead by a lot in villagers, usually they're just stuck gathering wood, which is extremely inefficient. Well, this seems like it's not destined for great success. Well, mango... Yeah. Yep, definitely not destined for success. TC? Yeah, exactly. Personally, I think that very few civs can boom and try and keep up with humans. Slavs are probably borderline. I would feel much more comfortable going for the pressure as Slavs in this matchup, but if, you know, you think that you can outboom humans as Slavs, I mean, it's certainly doable. Yes, fortified walls would be very helpful. And there's the university. Reinforcing those stone walls is at least something. Villager numbers are even, but that 4 here is going to be a big deal. And that's already partially getting denied. Krebs are out. And now the question becomes, you're buying time into what? You literally have a worse economy as Syscon than Turs right now. Batards are coming in. The second castle will be important to scale up those Kipchak numbers. Looks like the archery range is coming in for Thumbring. But again, it's just nobody feels like they're in quite a good enough position. Now, Stone Please is on his way up to the Imperial Age, and as the Malay, you'll get there quite quickly. But you're probably going to want to try and push running. And then try and make it like a race scenario where Turs has to very slowly push through all these fortified walls, and then you kind of blitz through the Spanish player with your archers. But that still feels like it's a very tall order for Team Darkside. Parthian TikToks coming in. Just stall? Yeah, that's literally all you can do is stall. If this were a 1v1, it would already be game over. Anyway, much like my casting career, this just unfortunately isn't quite enough. Oh, geez. And of course, the gates have no armor on them, so the Kipchaks and Conquistadors will blitz through the gates really fast. I mean, it's a 22 HP gate. You can literally one-shot that. Painted Warhammer. Do I look like somebody made of money to afford Warhammer figurines? Alright, Blue's going to try and add a bunch of TCs here to the east, play it Black Forest style, and just try and re-boom, but this ain't Black Forest. Oh, geez, it looks like not even the archers were doing well enough at all. Oh, the micro wasn't there, and there we go, guys. GG. And right now, Turs and Running definitely showing that they are a bit more comfortable on these closed maps, and they are going to tie up the series at 1-1. Human Boom was simply not stopped. The Conquistadors were able to get in and get a lot of damage done. And it really is as simple as that. All right, that was the #1 home map of Nocturna, and they certainly played like it. We have no civs to X out. So we just have to wait for the next map and see what they go for. The Saxon, what? Saxon fortified TC? Is that like a thing they're getting as a fortified town center? I don't remember reading that, but to be fair, I kind of glossed over it. Fortified TC? Oh, I don't remember. Still on hideout, but they are all in the lobby, so hopefully we'll get into this next game shortly. All of the maps for Darkside are aggressive maps of varying degrees, so most likely... Okay, it will be Arabia. So this is, unless something really weird happens, it's going to be some combination of Ethiopians, Mayans, Britons versus some combination of Magyars, Franks. Maybe Wei if you're feeling wild. Some combination of those. I'm probably forgetting some Civ that's just as good. $2v2 is a little bit longer rush distance than a 1v1, so maybe you can play something that's a little bit more economically inclined, like Britons. But we'll have to see. We will see. Dang, 300 comments on my DLC video. Saxon says, construct mighty fortified towns to lock down territory and stand firm against relentless invasion. Start the game already. Finally. All right. Ah, interesting. It's going to be double Magyars. Is there an argument to play Franks over Magyars on Arabia these days? I mean, it used to be Franks, have the better eco, but I feel like he's probably spent so much time in Feudal Age making scouts that Franks really fall off. Magyars just feel like one of the best civs these days in so many settings. Probably because, in part, the Magyar Hussar was buffed 3 times for literally no reason when it was already a good unit. Persians better than both? Persians are a bit slower. Maybe in the 2v2 setting, you could say, okay, we'll go Persians and be a bit more passive. But in general, it feels like you just always go Magyars. All right. Here we are, guys. Game number 3 in this best of 7. So we will have, indeed, Magyars for stone, please, and Magyars for running. But this is the interesting one. The 2P are going to be played for Turs. There to the southwest, and to the east in the blue as the Ethiopians, it will be Siskon. So this is as standard meta hamster stuff as it gets. The most aggressive archer civ, the most aggressive cav civ. Note, though, that the rush distances are fairly long. Longer than they'd be in the 3v3 or 4v4, at least between the flanks. So the idea might be that you can go for a fast castle Blackwood archer play. Now, it's not like 2P are an awful archer civ if you just, play them like an archer civ. But remember that there aren't any upgrades to take advantage from in the Feudal Age. Like, the discount at the archery range upgrades just doesn't matter at all. Not until Castle Age, and even then it's just the crossbowman upgrade. They're just better civs. You do have a strong early game. You get the settlements. You can garrison in them to protect the villagers, which is very helpful. And you get the extra starting resources as the 2P. But I'm just still not convinced that this civ is going to be as competitive as Ethiopians in anything unless you're going for some sort of chicanerous fast castle. Also, I don't like the settlement, man. Going to be a long walking distance very quickly. But we'll have to see. Obviously, Magyars are something of a control group. And, I mean, it's Arabia team game. You know exactly what the players are going for. Up as fast as possible. I remember back when it was just the French players who were doing this, the super fast up times, because they were playing... Oh, what was that map? Colosseum, I think? It was a Battle of Africa map. It was, like, even more aggressive Arabia. Watched a guy today. He said every civ that doesn't have Arbalest is garbage. That doesn't make any sense. Minute ad. Twitch is the worst, man. Yodnapot. YouTube is, I think, much better with the ads. For half an hour. I mean, I think that also just goes to show that just because somebody is a high-level AoE 2 player doesn't mean they have an especially deep understanding of the game. There's going to be a correlation with AoE 2 game understanding and level of play, but it's absolutely not a 1-to-1 guarantee. He did that, yeah. Well, again, we'll just have to see. The settlement being placed exactly like this does make me think we're going to be seeing a sort of a phosphorus stuff. But in general, this should be bad. Because what should happen is that even upon seeing 2P and just verifying that he's gathering stone, I would just double running like crazy. Like, what is Tur's going to do about it? And the Magyar player going scouts is already going to be in a very bad spot defensively. Like, I feel like this just shouldn't work. Unless... Oh, no. Never mind. Never mind. I wasn't thinking about this because Magyars are such a standard default meta pick. Oh, no. Here we go again. It's the double phosphoru. Meanwhile, I don't think there's going to be anything terribly exciting over here. Just going to be standard scouts and archers play. Already got the walls coming in. No gold. Probably just drop the the castle on the gold. And we will have to see, guys. You'll have to see. Hello, Melamadre. Saxon have Huskarls? Nope. Although it begs the question, why aren't they just not represented by Goths? I mean, the Goths really are the stand-in for all the Dark Age Germanic peoples. It's actually just one range. Okay, if this is like the true team game build, it's double range immediately. But Blue actually got double bit axe very quickly, so this is not actually as aggressive as it could be. Huskarls? Oh my goodness. Anyway, lots of nonsense here all the time. Tower follow-up. I mean, they clearly know what's going on. Have the Anglo-Saxon house Carls. And who gets the Huskies? The Slavs? Well, you got your market blacksmith in. Need to sell some stone. Defensive tower coming in. We need the Anglo-Saxons? I really don't think we need the Anglo-Saxons. The Tur's is going to be up a little bit later. I mean, I just did the Phosphoru thing the other day as Muisca, and it just felt so cheap. Getting Longbowman, but that would mean taking it away from Britons, which doesn't make any sense. Interesting. Diving under the TC right there, but of course no fletching is in, so you can get a villager kill. Oh, is that allowed? Uh-oh. Someone summon Nilly. Somebody summon the hippo. This is usually banned. Like, I'm serious, guys. This is usually banned. Flaming straggler trees. In case you didn't notice what that was, building a farm deletes the straggler tree that running was relying on for wood income. Is possible long distance? Yeah, maybe it's allowed if they're right by it? I don't know. Gonna build the castle right there. Sure, why not? I don't know, this feels so categorically different to me than, like, the old school going FC Knights or Fast Castle Crossbowmen or even, like, older Fast Castle Unique Unit builds, because it felt like there was much more of a transition out of it. Or, like, you go for a Drush Fast Castle. Is it just me, or, like, this just feels so much cheesier than the old FC stuff on Arabia. And although I would like to see FC viable on Arabia, in some capacity, I wish it was more that old school stuff. Because, like I said, this tends to just feel extremely cheap. Tower gonna get sniped there. Same deal over here. Gonna be towering that gold. Clutching on the way for red. Magyar Hussars are a silly unit. Let's snag one bill there. Can you buy enough time? I mean, running has, like, no resources. Okay, so that's going to buy blue a lot of time. Green's going to click up to Castle Age here. Please tell me this is actually in range. Okay, I think it is. Oh, you need to hop out? One Vil goes down. And this feels pretty good. Again, it's all about denying those resources. There's some nonsense quick walling stuff. Well, this is all pretty fine and dandy looking for Team Darkside at the moment. You keeping the fast castling players stuck at home? Oh, okay, here it goes. White. I assume that's because what castles in Hungary looked like. In the Unified Handbook? Ah. I thought that was something we agreed on a long time ago, but it's been years, and I don't really remember all the details of those extremely long conversations about the handbook. We'd be on Discord for hours, man. Alright, Castle Age is about to be in. Green is, I'm pretty sure, full balled. And, okay, it's going to be going light cav for just these scouts, which is perfectly fine. Yellow is able to start mining gold. Monastery coming in as well. Stone Please starting his night production. Just 15 Blackwoods at the moment. Cost-effective versus Knights? It sure feels like it. Right, well, would they have been white when they were new? I guess that's the question, right? Like, obviously the castles wouldn't necessarily look like this anymore, but I remember seeing some castles that kind of looked like this in Eastern Germany. No, they still have that unique tech, but just Magyar Hussars before the unique tech are super easy to train now. They used to be like 80 food, 10 gold, and they just knocked off the gold cost. Now they're 35 food, 45 gold, which is just so cheap and easy to afford in early Castle Age. No ballistics in for red. Obviously, again, both players' ecos are at the absolute limit. Stonewall's coming in here from blue, but I feel like, again, dark side are probably fine. Couple kills right there. The Magyar Hussars do have +1 defense, and they are still training villagers, at least to some degree, so they're 5 vills behind, which is obviously not going to do them any favors, but it's not the worst thing ever. Ballistics is going to be huge for the Ethiopian crossbowmen. Look at that lack of ballistics, man. Green is off of gold right now, though, which is obviously huge to get for those knights. They're saying, yeah, I don't remember. All right, archers are now starting to hold this off. Going to be a market and some house walls there for Stone Police. He is going to secure that gold again, which is obviously critical. Now, chain barding armor is coming in too, so running will have fully upgraded Magyar Hussars at the moment. Yeah, there is. I know for sure there's a patrol stack rule, but it's like it's a very limited rule where it's only patrolling back and forth over a small area, not like the stuff that we see on the daily basis in events. Well, a little unlucky there, but such is life. Magyar Hussars trying to flee. Few Blackwoods going down there. 19 Magyar Hussars, though, to 8 knights. By admins, yeah. Barracks coming in. Magyar Hussars still do need bloodlines and husbandry. Both are very important. But as I was saying, yes, the ecos are better for dark side, but they're not, like, amazingly so. We do have TC number 2 coming in for blue, and because the army is still a lot better for Nocturna, you definitely do not feel out of the woods yet if you're Siscon and Stone, please. Single tile patrol. It just feels a lot more pervasive because you can do it in so many different situations, right? I do think that the single tile patrol stacking literally made it impossible to take fights, so, like, obviously that should be banned. But the way that patrol stacking works now is just like you do it in every single fight no matter what, and it's just, it feels really cheap. Where's Red getting gold? Is he just selling? Oh, no, my bad, he's over there. Got horse collar coming in, and yeah, the phosphorus stuff still continuing on. It is not at all in. Still just 2 ranges, though, for Siscon. Execute, yeah. Give units collision. The reason is because when units had more collision, we had the absolutely dreadful pathfinding earlier where units would get stuck on each other. Yeah, this is live. This is live. Yeah, nobody has eco upgrades except for... Well, oh no, sorry, it's Horse Culture. So, I mean, yeah, Turs is getting there in terms of eco upgrades. Remember, Magyar Hussars have the exact same DPS as Knights. Oh my goodness. Other stable having to be built over there. If you want to, you can snipe the other stable, but it looks like running and Turs are looking for something more deadly. No, they cannot go. Good micro there from Syscon. As Eagles, that's because they literally are. Eagles are 20 food, 50 gold. Magyar Hussars are 35 food, 45 gold. So the Magyar Hussars are only very slightly more expensive for getting a unit with far better stats than an individual Eagle Warrior. And again, I'd like to reinforce that Magyar Hussars had that resource cost change and then got a triple buff after it. I think 5 more HP, 1 more attack, and like half the train time. It was I said it back then that it was one of the most stupid balance changes ever, and I was told that, oh no, Ornlu Magyar Hussars were not all that good. Would I rather only play against Phosphor players or kiss my bro one time? I don't have a bro, so I'd rather do that. Alright, Thumb Ring coming in now. Army value still in favor here of Team Nocturna. Other yeah, like, the only Cav unique units that are especially great in Castle Age are Magyar Hussars and Tiger Cav, both of which are overpowered. It's not like we see this with Boyars or Konix or Cataphracts. Manaspa? Manaspa and Lechai are really good, but they're actually, and I think that Lechai especially, are overpowered, but not in this context. And yeah, I know, Rathas, but Rathas are Cav Archers according to the game, so that's what I'm sticking with. Anyway, guys, a big issue right now is that Stoneplease's eco is not very good. Yeah, Yellow's eco isn't that great, but right now, his army's a lot cheaper. And the knights are just so much more expensive to make going. Anyway, Imp is obviously going to be huge. Just the 1 TC, 47 Vils, not much in terms of eco, so it's not like Turris is going to have a very easy time affording upgrades, but Racer is so insane for the Blackwood Archers. Jesus. Jesus says, WTF did I just read? Alright, second TC just now coming in from green. A little bit of a Vil snipe right there. 20 seconds to Imp. Why does Turs have an archery range? Does he think that there's an upgrade his Blackwood Archers need there? Because you don't get Thumb Ring. Castle now here for Syscon, still just trying to hang in there. He's up to Imperial Age, but Bracer and Chemistry are both afforded here by Turs. That is going to be really, really tough to stop. Castle coming in. There's another castle, though, for running. Why wouldn't they just give... Well, they didn't want... They want the damage coming from Curare. They don't want it just to be, like, super fast reload speed, because that way they can actually make the poison damage notable. I think it actually makes a lot of sense from a design perspective. Because if you gave the units the ability to fire even... Dude, Caciques doesn't matter! Turs! It literally does nothing! I mean, not for any units he's actually making. Unless he starts making something else. He starts making slingers and, chompies. Alright, Blue's getting closer to Imp. Yeah, you want Curare. It's the Imperial Age one. But I feel like everybody who plays 2P just does this one exact build, and then they don't actually know how the Civ really operates. Is that just me being jaded? A little bit of a Night Raid over here. Oh, I love the Ethiopian monastery. It looks great. But I love the architecture set in general. All right, looking for another conversion there. Magyar Hussars are running amok, though. Siskon's in Imperial Age, but it's going to take another second or so before those upgrades are in. And now the TC is going to be going down super fast to all those Magyar Hussars. Again, literally the same DPS as a Knight. It's such a stupid unit. Oh my goodness. They both are, to be honest. I think the Castle Age Blackwood Archers also need a slower reload speed. Have that also be something that you get from the Elite upgrade. Have it be like 1.7 or something for Castle Age. Third castle now coming in. Arb chemistry for blue, but now Nocturna have a huge eco lead. I mean, Green's lost his entire economy. He can't make any good numbers of knights anymore. 52 dead villagers. I mean, yeah, he's got a big blob of knights, but that is just not going to scale very well. He death of the universe? Yeah, basically. Now, here's the deal. The Ethiopian Arbs are about to be fully upgraded. He's got Thumbring. Gonna have all the defense upgrades, which matters a lot versus the Blackwood Archers. All right, here we go. +4 defense wasn't quite in during the start of that fight. That was a really bad fight from Green. He's not really attacking anything. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, this is over. Trying to get a siege workshop there. I guess conscription, sure, whatever. Doesn't matter. Castle number 3 for Turs. Why do I also have the feeling that Stoneplease and Siskon are very salty at the moment? Does anyone else kind of get that vibe? Oh, boy. Uh-huh. Oh, it's very good micro. If Stoneplease was still on like 70 villagers, then I'd say that this game could even be remotely competitive, but obviously that's just not the case. It's a 45 vill lead. Elite Blackwood Archer is going to be coming in, so those bad boys will be fully upgraded. Running isn't getting imp anytime soon, but he's honestly on so many villagers, again, relative at this point, that it's probably just fine. Leipzig Halle Airport with... oh my goodness. I flown into there multiple times. Where I fly in to visit Debbie and Viper. Oh, there's Curare. Oh, we had canceled Elite just to get Curare. Yeah, now those guys are going to be even better. Knights are still trying to do a bit of raiding over here. The scores even aren't all that bad. Bombard cannons are also very good, remember, against Blackwood archers. I mean, in general, Blackwood archers feel much less OP in Imperial Age, because that's when Siege can really start to come online and counter them effectively. Or you get the eco for a big enough massive skirmisher so they can't do anything either. Arb's gonna snipe the trib there. Gonna try and go after that castle. Elite Blackwood archers now in. So those guys are fully upgraded. Yellow clicks up to Imperial Age. Ooh, that would possibly be a... Stoneplee's still trying to be active with his army. But only at 14 villager kills at the moment. It's just not enough. If Siscon had Leary macro? Maybe. Castle will go down here, most likely. All right, here we go. No imp yet. Not amazing bombard cannon hits. Yep. I mean, it's a 2v1 fight. What do you expect? Catching reinforcements now, and yellow's getting closer and closer to Imperial Age. I mean, red's still only on 1 TC with his 95 Blackwood archers. Just not enough. Now Corvidian army's even going to come in, so he switches off the gold cost, which you probably don't even want to do right now. It's still probably a while before you really want only food cost. Oh boy. Running his imp, that should be the GG impetus. Nope. Maybe they're quite salty. Maybe I underestimated the salt. They should know full well they have 0 chance of winning this game. In Castle Age? No. Because the overall resources you spend does not decrease. It just shifts the gold cost to food cost. Anyway, Nocturna take game number 3 with some phosphoruing. Good KD from Siscon, but just not good enough. Was kind of close. Well, that's just because blue had a really good eco. Green was on 33 vills. All right, I want to see, do Magyar Hussars actually trade well versus Knights in post-Castle Age? All right. Need stable, and I need blacksmith. All right, so let's see, 20 knights. times 135 resources, 2,700. Divided by 80 is, round down and say 33. One, two. Make a trigger. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we? Ah, here we are. Oh, wait, no, that doesn't work. I need to actually use the thing to upgrade. I need to get some other building. It's random archery range. All right. 33 Magyar Hussars versus 20 Knights. I'm pretty sure the Magyar Hussars should win this easily. Yeah, this isn't even close. Right? Yes, he does. Got full castle age. Both sides have full castle age upgrades. That's honestly a joke. Like, that is actually ridiculous. Oh, wait, I only give... okay. Not that bad. Not that bad. I only give him 15 knights. I'm sorry. Okay, this should at least be closer. It's like, that was completely a joke. It's 24. Am I failing to count? Even if it is 24, this actually means that it was more resources put into knights. But the thing is, it didn't used to. Oh yeah, that was actually still more resources spent on the knights than the Magyar Hussars. I did do 4 rows of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. It's honestly just... And considering how fast they train as well... Remember, Magyar Hussars used to be a lot weaker. They just got buffed over and over and over again. Yes, both units have full castle age upgrades. Like, that's just not even remotely close. They only cost a little bit more than half the resources of a knight. Again, Blackwood Archers are also overpowered, but... yeah, it seems like you do always want to go for this unit. And remember, they're also faster than Knights by a lot. 1.5 movement speed versus 1.35. Well, at the very least, they can't do that again. Advantage? Absolutely. Larry, maybe. Anyway, I need to take a quick break, guys. Enclosed will be the next map. Again, you can't do that again. So let's see what they often go for. All right, 50-second wait. I want to see some Nile Delta. Oh, shoot. I have to remake this completely. What it was? It was Dark Side, Nocturna, Alright, guys. Here we go. It is enclosed. So, Arabia-esque. And it will at least be featuring, once again, two of the civs mirrored, but they are on opposite sides. So we'll have Siscon as the Britons, and Turs as the Britons. And on the other side, we're going to have Franks for Stone Please and the Way for Running. Again, I don't think you're going to be able to pull that off with any other civs.
Ready. Grayton, Mandatum.
There is no Cav unique unit that is as insane as the Magyar Hussar right now, and you could maybe try and do something with another Archer unique unit, but probably the Blackwood Archer is just way better than anything else. So let's see. I don't think running into Turs want to play a very standard game. You could try and go for Xianbei Raiders, but then would you go double Archers? What is a Fodler? I don't think anyone really knows what a Fodler is. Some weird Bavarian dude that I agreed to play a team game tournament with.
Ready.
Folder behaving like a toddler? Nah, Fodler just mistyped his own name one time and I ran with it. Yeah, I'm playing with Folder and Bucket. Yeah, I mean, the question really is just going to be what are the Nocturna guys planning?
Mandatum. Yay.
I mean, it still should be, again, very, very similar to Arabia in terms of how the actual compositions and whatnot work. The compositions, the necessary team fights that you need to take, and just the way that the game develops, right? It's all going to be very similar to Arabia. Not the biggest fan of enclosed personally, but, you know, it's whatever.
Mandatum.
Is that 17 pop-up from Siska? That is very fast. Only 2 on wood.
Ready.
3 on wood for Turs. Meanwhile, the rush distance is much closer than Arabia, though, to be fair. Glade? I know, man. Glade is literally just enclosed, but better. Some people might think Glade is one of the stupidest maps ever. It might be, but I honestly love it. I think it's really funny to both cast and watch. You just get such nonsense. No rocky terrain randomness. Is it fun to play? I enjoy playing it. It's like you need to do something degenerate. Well, this is actually very reminiscent of the first game. Both Darkside players are up faster than both Nocturna players. It's 18 versus 19 pop on both sides. Pre-Scurb meta? Socotra's still a good map. Not a thing. The only time... I mean, there are some civs that can go for a good FC. I think that Men-at-Arm Towers is still probably the optimal opening. That said, I've had some success doing some, like, really fast castle pressure builds with, I did, like, a Step Lancer one with Ketons. I did a, Whiska one. It can also work with some FC castle drop stuff because the walls go down very quickly. It's going by default for you? Yeah, that's true. All the hamstering! Right, double ranges there.
Yay.
I mean, that's exactly what you'd expect it to be. But the Frank Britton combo, the BFFs for life, the best friends forever for life. Did I make 2100? Nah, I'm like 20 or something like that right now. All right, very quick defensive archery range here from Turs. So this is a super defensive approach. Now, the eco for Wei will be better than that of the Franks in general over the course of, you know, Feudal Age. But Franks are still very strong early on with their economy. And until Bloodlines comes in, they're going to be the better civ.
Yay.
At least at this sort of package. So right now, this is just peak hamstering. Also, you want to pressure on this side because one... Like, both sides should want to fight this way. You want to attack with the Archer player against the Cav player as much as you can, as the Archers are slow and they're much better defensively than the Cavalry is. But considering that Darkside had the faster uptime and are scaling their army out faster, you would certainly expect them to be the ones doing the attacking early on. Weaker than Wei? Over the course of a game, yeah, but... we will see. Hamsters has already made such a joke many times. 25 vills here for yellow, 23, 23, and then 22 for blue. Fletching coming in now for Syscon. Tiger Cav is an extremely silly unit. Not in the exact same way as the Magyar Hussar, but it's still an equally silly unit. Lechai plus those two units feel like they're so much better than every other Cav unique unit. Anyway, archers are here. Okay, Green's gonna try and come back, but there were 2 spearmen as a part of this army. Scout's getting some kills there. And that's gonna be a big old mop up on aisle 7. Frank Scouts are coming in clutch there with the extra HP. I mean, Franks are a good civ. Like, in this early feudal age scout stuff, I mean, Franks are just as good as they've always been. Actually, they haven't. They still have the weaker forage bushes bonus. But still, in general, very good. It's only going to be in late feudal age when Wei are going to start to take over. 23 seconds idle time, though, isn't ideal for yellow. And he's actually going on over to stone. Is he going to go for Tiger Cav? I feel like that's not actually good. You don't want to go Tiger Cav into knights. That feels all sorts of wrong. Unless it's just for more defensive watchtowers, but it feels like this isn't a map where you want to play defensive. But Turs is only on 1 archery range, so he can't really scale up his archer numbers very well at all. And although for some reason they are attacking from this direction, and the reinforcement distance is going to be very long for Syscon, it still feels like a good opportunity for Darkside. Big fight happening here, and again, Frank Scouts beat Wei Scouts. And thus far, doing all right. Why are yellow and... Oh, wait, yellow already has wheelbarrow. That's insane. Yeah, the eco of running is going to be very good. Anyway, Scouts coming in here and killing more archers, and both players are actually going to start losing archers. +1 defense coming in for the Franks player. Again, remember, no upgrades at all on these Scouts. So you just get 9 extra HP as the Frankers. And right now, Red is the one with archers standing. As, like I said, I just don't know why you're sending the archers all the way around over there. And thus far, Nocturna is defending, and they are able to maintain a 3-villager advantage. You can see the eco upgrade's very good for the Wei. Market coming in over here. I guess the towers were enough of a deterrent for Syscon, but I don't know. Second range only now coming in for Red. Like, this is a build that feels like it shouldn't work. But you gotta respect Turs and running for recognizing that if they try to mirror their opponents exactly, they'll likely lose. So they're trying something different. Green's gonna be coming in with wheelbarrow now. And Franks do benefit from extra forage bushes on this map. You can even send, I think, those 4 vills over here. But even so, we have to guess that running has the best eco. And indeed he does. A little bit ahead in food collected, though, is Green. And Castlage will be in first for running. Yeah, no vills were over there. Couple scouts going down. And it will be Tiger Cav. So here's the thing. Tiger Cav aren't going to be very good against knights. I mean, they're an anti-archer unit, right? They're a mounted Huskarl, so to say. They will farm these archers like crazy. And maybe the idea is that the Tiger Cav are going to be matched up against the archer player. I think that's honestly pretty reasonable. Everybody now on the way up to Castle Age, so it'll be yellow, then blue, and then red and green at around similar times. Scale Barding armor is on the way. Hello, Mr. Stroker of Goats. Yeah, Scout's being a bit annoying here, taking down the mill. That's certainly not really what you want. No horse collar is even in. More archers coming out here for red. He's not going to be going for longbowmen or anything like that, at least not for a while. Northern, you did miss the double phosphorus strategy work with Magyar Hussars and Blackwood Archers. That was so fun. All right, castle coming in. More eco upgrades as well, of course, for the way. We're also going to be in Castle Age, but what is that going to be against the Tiger Cav? Wait, I thought Green got +1 defense a while ago. Whatever. Triple Stables. Oh, boy. Really wants to apply the pressure. Lots of vills here for yellow. Chain Barding Armor is going to be very important, as is Husbandry. And you need to just slowly get those Tiger Cav numbers rolling. There's the University. Yeah, 15 archers are all over here for Turs. Green's score is very good. That's the best KD. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Turs actually has the most res collected, interestingly. Still, it's going to be triple stable knights from Franks. It's heavy, heavy aggression. There isn't much stone right now. He's actually using the farm to get the extra 30 stone, so he can build a TC over here, most likely. Or I guess a TC over there, same thing. Second TC also coming in for blue, whereas we do have Nocturna on the 1 for now. Tiger Cav are rolling in. Ballistics for red. No ballistics in yet for blue, but it is 28 crossbowmen, and they are coming over here to the north. Certainly going to incentivize a little bit of pressure here with only the 1 TCs from Nocturna. Dark Side versus Dark Side. Oh, you mean the names both being night-themed? Yes. I have made that joke already. Anyway, there's Husbandry coming in, and of course the big advantage for Knights is that they're going to scale a lot faster than Tiger Cav, because as stupid as Tiger Cav are, it's more of a stupid unit in the late Castle Age as opposed to a stupid unit in the early Castle Age.
Yay. Mandatum. Ready. Mandatum. Ready. Yay. Ready.
Well, it is Britain crossbowmen on both sides, so they cancel out, but now the Tiger Cav are going to be charging forward, trying to pull back the low HP one, and with 6 Pierce Armor, they only deal 1 damage a hit to the Tiger Cav. And if the crossbowmen here can pick off the Knights from behind... I mean, it's a good attempted micro, but now the Tiger Cav are going to start to get supercharged. I mean, it's just... It's the only unit in AoE that just you feed. I mean, technically it also applies to Jaguar Warriors, but Jaguar Warriors don't get more HP. Oh, no. 17 kills. Green coming in with +2 defense, but he just doesn't have enough knights here. I mean... It's not over, right? Right?
Ready.
I mean, I could argue that Nocturna are really just trying to abuse some of the most overpowered units in the game. But yeah, taking that fight when there were relatively similar numbers of knights to Tiger Cav is just going to be so good for the Tiger Cav. And now the Tiger Cav can do stuff like this on the other side. Really, really tough to stop. And it's also been good to micro from running as well, keep in mind. Scores are flip-flopping back and forth, and the tower is going to be a bit annoying, but no upgrades means that it's still going to be limited in its efficacy. And Darkside are still ahead in villagers, although they have a lot of idols.
Ready.
And right now, the issue is the Tiger Cav just keep on farming the crossbowmen for more stats. And despite not having any base melee armor, I feel like it doesn't take that many kills for the Tiger Cav to outperform Knights in a head-on fight. A limit? Yeah, 4. You can get 40 extra HP and 4 extra attack.
Yay.
47 kills to 8 deaths right now. It's basically all been crossbowmen. It's the fact that the Knights have simply never been able to take a good head-on engagement versus the Tiger Cav. And the numbers have simply not been there.
Ready.
Again, populations are still comparable, but the military score is going to be so high here for running. Beach Workshop coming in from the Hamsters. Still only 1 TC for him. Blue is booming on 3. Big eco lead. It's just the archers have all died. Go away. Indeed.
Ready. Mandatum.
Oh, now the stables are starting to get sniped. Oh, I'm sorry. They cap out at 5, so you can get +5 attack. Like, this is literally basically a paladin right now. Monks are bad as in overpowered, or monks are bad as in not good? Because monks feel fine.
Ready. Yay.
Monks are OP, yeah. Well, second TC coming in over there for red, third TC for yellow. I mean, we're at the part where we can start sniping town centers soon. More outposts coming in. Okay, that's a stone please outpost. He doesn't need one there. Yeah, now we're going to start to kill TCs. Blue trying to remass his crossbowman, but he simply doesn't have the numbers to keep up with Turs at the moment. I mean, the one game that was a relatively standard game of AoE 2... Well, actually, games 1 and 2 were both relatively standard games, where Darkside looked a lot better on the water map, and worse on the closed map. The games 3 and 4 have just been a showcase, honestly, of why some units are overpowered. This game is over. And hello, Hung Solo.
Ready.
Thanks for the bits and the nice readings. Tiger Cav? Yeah, I mean, obviously it's all going to be a bit different. This one, 160 HP, 16 attack. Wait a minute. No, there is a very real limit. I think that's a bug. Yeah, they cap out at +4. They seem to keep on going up in cap trade. Yeah, there is one Tiger Cav I can see in game that has 170 HP and 17 attack, but that it doesn't go up any higher than that. Willy Wonka? I mean, Twitch has always been the domain of weird nicknames. All right, again, that's just a display bug. It's not actually those stats. Anyway, some conversions coming in. This is an extremely one-sided fight. Yeah. Oh, boy.
Ready.
Wait, what? Isn't it a best of 7? I thought it was best of 7. Am I insane? Oh, no, it is the best of 5. My bad. Oh, it's because they had the extra maps. That's why it got confusing with the draft. Well, then that's it. That is it. And we will have Nocturna reaching the finals over Darkside. They still haven't lost a game yet. Or no, they lost the one game, my bad. Doing very well so far, and they will be facing you win or you learn. So it's Tofu and Benanji on one side, and Running and Turs on the other. And we will try and cover that when we can. But we also have Rage Forest tomorrow. Like I said, it starts at 16 GMT. And again, I will endeavor to cover that to the best of my ability. But that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. It's been good streaming again a lot more consistently lately. So, yeah. Nice stuff there. And we can go ahead and raid somebody. Wait, why am I not showing up here? Oh, it's stupid recommended for me. Bye, guys.